it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have got this little project for you. I'm using the designer series paper from the 12 Tidings suite in the annual catalogue. It is going, unfortunately. We are on that time of year where things are going, but this means that it's coming back. So it'll be going away and then it'll be coming back. So it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So the gift wrap is going. The designer series paper, I'm 99.9% certain is going. Let me just, sure that's what I meant by pink. You will have seen I did a walkthrough of the catalogue and very carefully, yes, it's coming back next year. Woo! So it will be going at the beginning of January and then it will be coming back in 2020, the autumn-winter catalogue, assuming we're calling it the autumn-winter catalogue and not the mini or whatever. Anyway, it will be coming back and it's gorgeous. There are enamel dots that go with it, all sorts. I am pairing it with an item that is carrying over, which is the Nature's Beauty stamp set. This is the stamp set which, when you buy it, you are part of the price is going to help local mental health charities. So it's a great one to grab. It's got lovely imagery, which I think you can use all year round. I accept that the trees are probably, you know, autumn, winter, and obviously we've got snow or possibly rain, but the animals, which for me are the main feature, any time of the year. So this is what I have made. I made a bit of a boo-boo because what I forgot was that the paper, which is reversible by colour, it's on Very Vanilla. It's garden green on one side, and for some reason I thought this was cherry cobbler, and it's not. It's real red. It works by putting the garden green with the cherry cobbler. Obviously putting real red with cherry cobbler, not so much. So let me show you how I've made it. I'm using vellum, and I've basically cut a mat that is the same size as my designer series paper. Measurements, as ever, will be on my website, which is linked immediately below. So let me grab my stamps. So I'm only using 2 stamps, and I'm using 2 ink pads. So I'm using Thinking of You at Christmas Time, which is from, she says, trying to find it on her desk. Surprise, surprise, a bomb has landed. It's The Greatest Part of Christmas, which is one of the host sets from the Autumn Winter catalogue. If you want to get this, and it's got some amazing Christmas sentiments, then you need to place an order of at least £150, and then you can add this to your order. And you get it subsidised or indeed free, because you earn stamping rewards. So, vellum, I'm going to heat emboss. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some embossing buddy, just in case. Then I'm going to ink up my deer with Versamark ink, and I'm going to stamp it to the left-hand side and slightly up from the bottom, and hold that in place. And I have stamped it. Now I can see that, not terribly helpful for you, but I'm going to add some embossing powder, and I'm going to use the black Shimmer embossing powder, which is in the annual catalogue, and just dabble that over the image. And then I do like to do 2 coverings just in case, and just make sure that there's no stray bits, particularly as it's black. It's going to be quite obvious if it's in the wrong place. So just pour that back into the pot. And we are good to go. Now, do remember, if you want any of these products, you can shop with me on my online store, which is linked below. It's also on my website. So, and also what I've used is on in the information below, so really easy for you to shop with me. Just heating up my heat gun and the trusty cheese board. And there we go, it gets me every time. Phew, I love heat embossing, it is such fun. And look at that image, isn't that just lovely? And it's got that lovely, just gentle bit of sparkle. I hope it's picked up in the camera, but there's just a gentle bit of sparkle just to lift it from being completely black. Now, if I bring back in the one I made first, you will see that I've got various bits stuck on. What I'm going to need to be doing is sticking my vellum to my designer series paper. Now, anyone who's worked with vellum will now think I'm completely mad, because if you put adhesive on vellum, it will change how the vellum looks. But if one is careful with where one puts it, it's hidden. So, assuming your glue actually wants to run, so I'm just picking out some places where there is a fairly solid image of heat embossing. So places like hooves and knees are good places, and there will do nicely. Tips of his ears or her ears, don't know whether it's a male or a female. And then, because I'm going to be adding ribbon, I'm going to draw a line there, and because I'm adding a sentiment, I'm going to draw a line there. And those bits should get covered by other bits that I'm adding. So that then needs to dry. Now, I'm not going to make you watch paint dry. I mean, it's almost paint, isn't it? I'm going to take my nice heavy block, this is my F block, and I'm going to pop this under there and leave it to dry on my heated floor. And it will then dry nicely, and it will dry flat. Apart from the fact I've gone a bit skew with. So let me just bring in my new little trimmer. This mini trimmer is going to be available. Well, it's available now for current demonstrators, and it will be available during celebration for anyone who wishes to join my Stamping Up team. We call ourselves the Sparkling Sunflowers, and we have a superb time. But isn't it just the cutest thing? So rather than having to get out my enormous, great big, but very nice trimmer, which will be in the new mini catalogue, I can just bring out my mini and trim off the bits that have gone a bit skew with. Right, I need to... Oh, and I should say that when you get your mini... When you get the mini trimmer, you also get a selection of designer series papers cut at 6x6. And what's brilliant is you get 4 of each of the designs. Now I've flipped them over, so you've got that side and that side. So you get 4 of each. So if you were to join and wanted to run classes, you've got a piece to make your sample and 3 pieces for your class. So you could have 3 friends over around your kitchen table and make some really lovely projects. You've got your trimmer, and away you go. Anyway, I digress. So I need to obviously swap out my cherry cobbler for my real red. Isn't it nice to know I can get things wrong? I don't think it's nice to know that I can get things wrong, but you know, I'm only human. So I've got a piece of very vanilla cardstock that I've just got it's an offcut from when I make card bases, or mats I should say, and just ink it up and stamp. Get rid of my ink pad before I do something I will regret. Bring back in my trimmer. to trim off the end. So I want it about there. It's so cute. I mean, look at the size of it. It's 4 inches by 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 4 inches by 6. So it's great for travelling and those sorts of things. You'd probably need a full-size trimmer as well, but for just trimming down a little bit, perfect. Right, I have got a mat that is real red for my designer series paper to go on. And I'm just going to, if my glue would like to work, thank you glue, just going to add some adhesive to my designer series paper, or indeed to my cardstock. Good grief, I'm even more stupid than normal. And then I can, by using liquid adhesive, you have just that little bit of wiggle room to get everything straight. There we go. And then press from the back. And then I can grab some dimensionals. Probably need 3. And oops, come on, there we go. 1 at the end, 1 at the other end, and 1 in the middle. And then just peel the backings off. And pop this in place. So I want it just above the deer's head and a little bit away from the edge of the paper here. There we go. And then from the back, grab your paper snips and just cut that flush. And then I've got a piece of the, what do we call this? It's very vanilla and copper classic weave, and I thought that would go quite nicely along the bottom there. So let me just trim a piece off. And then if you saw my video earlier in the week, I was talking about which adhesives you can use for what. And snail adhesive is really great for adding to the back of ribbon, and then you get a sticky ribbon. It probably wouldn't be great on the burlap ribbon, but other than that, it's really good. And then just add that to the bottom of my card, and because it's very vanilla, obviously it matches with the background of the paper. And then I've got a garden green card base, and apparently aeroplanes flying overhead. And then just add more adhesive to the back of my mat. And then just to make sure that that tiny piece of ribbon doesn't pop up, I'm going to grab my tear and tape, because I haven't given it very much of a hem, if you like, or an overlap, and just grab the end of a take your pick tool. It's only because I'm set up for my next project, which uses a scoring tool. So just lift that up. And then I will be absolutely sure that that end won't untuck itself. And then pop that on there, like that. And there we have our 2 lovely Christmas cards with some glittery heat embossing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do remember to give it a thumbs up if you did, and to subscribe if you'd like to see more projects from me. The subscription button is in the bottom right hand corner. And I hope you managed to get everything you need from the retiring autumn winter catalogue before it's gone. There is no way I can keep you up to date with what is in stock and what isn't not in stock, because I film ahead, so things disappear without me even knowing. So yeah, just keep an eye, and all I would say is get it before it goes. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.